Hello, good morning, everybody, or I should say happy Thursday. I'm going to say hi to Kathy because she's already here. First one here. Kathy wins. Hello, my friend. I hope you're doing good. I'm sorry, I'm putting lotion on really quick. I glanced down at my hands and they look terrible, as usual, right? The hands of a crafter. I hope everybody is doing well. If you're new here, my name is Julie, and this, my channel is Day Trip Vintage Company, of course, and this is what I call Vintage Craft and Chat. It is our Thursday live stream together where we can chit chat, craft together. I typically have a guided craft tutorial that we will do together every Thursday. Today is actually the start of a two-part. I figured I would spread today's project over 2 weeks. So today is week 1. And, but yeah, typically I have a guided craft tutorial that we do together. I always include the supply list down in the description. So if you want, you can grab your craft supplies and you can craft along with me live. And of course, the live stream always posts later, so you can watch it at your leisure and craft along at the time that works for you. Terry's here too. Hi, Terry. Hope you're having a good day. I'm so glad you're both here. I was gone so I've been on for 2 weeks, right? So the Thursday before, 2 weeks ago was Halloween, and I just figured, people would be busy, but truthfully, I was a little burnt out from from Halloween, and I'm not full disclosure, I'm not a very good planner. I kind of fly by the seat of my pants. That's always sort of been my character. So I didn't even look. I discovered when we were here the week before, oh my gosh, next Thursday is Halloween, right? I'm looking at the calendar. That took me by surprise, but I think I had just burnt myself out with Halloween crafting. And I'm like, a lot of you had really, really good suggestions for the following week for that day. And there was one in particular I got really excited about. And I started looking on Pinterest, and I was looking through some of my vintage books here, and I didn't have the thing that I was really looking for. And yeah. so yeah, but that was part of it. I just was like really burnt out, I think, because I did a lot of Halloween projects with you all, but I did film a really fun video that I had posted that day, putting together my Halloween tiered tray. So I took a lot of the things that we made together over the Halloween season and incorporated those into my tiered tray. So hopefully, something almost fell. You all enjoyed that day. And then last week, Jim, my husband, he was like, I want to go camping again. He wanted to go fishing season. I guess the fishing season is closing. So that's where we were last Thursday. It was kind of spur of the moment, but it was fun. We had a really good time. It just was relaxing. I didn't fish. I just hung out in the motorhome. He went super early, both mornings. We were gone and it was very cold. We've never camped when it's been that cold before. So that was a new thing for us. And I had just little projects and things that I was working on in the motorhome. We've been trying to spruce things up. It's a little bit of an older one. So yeah, so that's where I was last week. Hi, Mama Juju. How are you? I'm so glad you're here today. I hope you're having a good day. Amy, I miss Amy. Amy's here. Hi, Amy. Oh my gosh, Amy, is it this coming weekend? I'm so excited for your craft fair. Amy is so creative. She has been making the most adorable Christmas crafts for a live craft fair. I think you're doing a number of them, right? They're so cute. I'm hoping to snag a few things. She said she kept a few things back to sell on her Facebook page. So okay, so this Saturday is the first one. So I'm hoping I can snag a couple things. So cute. Oh my gosh. Like vintage style, that kitschy, cute. I like, for my Christmas, I love vintage and kind of handmade, whimsical. Like that's totally my style. You have 3 in person. I think you're going to have the best booth. And definitely, I hope you post pictures on I'm sure you will, on Facebook of your booth when it's all set up, and so cool. Good. Okay, good. You put your Facebook link in. I should have said to do that. Sorry. Okay, so let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Really quick. I know a few more people are coming in. Oh yeah, last Thursday I finally filmed and posted the Epic Estate Sale haul that I had told you all about many weeks ago, that estate sale that Jim and I attended. That was the crafter and the maker, and it was a Japanese family. We found so many cool things. And that haul, I edited some out, but it ended up being over an hour, and that was just the craft supplies. So it was a really fun one. So I put that up last Thursday when I wasn't with you. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. Yeah, I think so. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Oh, you're going to do so good, Amy. Don't be nervous. And it isn't your first one, right? You've done quite a few. So, I did 2 craft fairs in the past. So I know, like, you get so nervous before it starts, but I found those 2 times, like, once it started and people start coming in your booth and you're chit-chatting, and people are going to love your stuff. So that will just take the nerves right away. People are going to be like, oh my God, your stuff's so cute. It's so adorable. So your nerves will go right out the window. Yeah, it was a good one. And I should have like read off a list of all the things I didn't include in the estate sale. It was almost as long as the things I did include. So anyway, so that was fun. And I think that's it. I won't keep chit-chatting. Yeah, we have about seven-ish people. So I think that's a good start. So today, today's project. So again, this is week 1. We are going to be making this cute little fall journal out of envelopes. It is so easy. I feel like it's very beginner friendly. And we all have envelopes. We have envelopes from cards that we wrote in. Do you guys do that? If I'm writing, Christmas cards or birthday cards and I mess up the inside, I'm like, okay, well, I'm keeping the envelope. So we all have lots of envelopes laying around. And of course, we get a million of them every day in the mail from junk mail. So you can even use junk mail envelopes. And you could even use the window ones. Would work really well. You can cover up the window, or you can incorporate the window into the project. So yeah, so this is what we are making today. And when I flip around, I'll show you the inside. And the inspiration came from this Peter Rabbit book that I had picked up and showed a couple hauls ago. I grabbed it from our local used bookstore. It was only $1. And when I was flipping through and doing the haul, I realized that Squirrel Nutkin is in the book, and the illustrations are absolutely amazing. Let me pull some out. So, like, look at that. I mean, what's more fall than that? So what I did with my book, let's see, should I tell you what the size of it is? The pages of this book they're roughly 8 by 5.25 by 8. And what I did is I took the pages out of my book. So I want to reserve the originals, and I just scanned them. I scanned them into my printer, and then I did 2 things. I was trying to work with the size of envelopes I had. So I originally scanned them and just printed them out. Half page is what I did. And then what I ended up doing, let me think here. What did I do? Yes, I scanned them individually. So this is like full size. And then what I did was I scanned them and I shrunk them down. So this is how I ended up printing them. And this size fit really well on the size envelope I'm using is the 3.5 inch by 6 1/4. And supply list is down with those dimensions. And it's basically like the small letter envelope, you know, like a check would fit in it, you know, if you were mailing somebody a check. So it's that kind of small envelope. And this size, when I shrunk it down like this, it worked really well. Now, Beatrix Potter stuff is all in the hi, Caroline, how are you? Hi, I hope you're having a good day. I'm glad you're here. Beatrix Potter is in the public domain, so you don't need to have a book. I just happen to have it and thought I want to use it. I may eventually use the original pages, considering I only paid $1. But Beatrix Potter is in the public domain, so you can go on Pinterest, you can go on Picroll, you can go on a million different websites and just find printables on there. But because I had the book, I wanted to use it. And then the other thing that I've never used, and I thought the art went really well with the Beatrix Potter, was this box of William Morris postcards. So I actually have 2 of these. I picked them up at an estate sale, oh my gosh, like 5 or 6 years ago. I don't know. I just thought that they were so beautiful. They were unused. In fact, both were wrapped. They had the cellophane wrapping on them. So that was the other thing. I've been wanting to use these, but I found out that they were too small. That they will work really well for pockets for this size envelope, but they were too, let me grab one of my envelopes. They were a little bit too small to cover the entire envelope. So I was a little like, wah, because I thought these would add a lot of stability to the little journal. So because these didn't work to cover the whole page, I went looking online, and William Morris is also in the public domain, so you can find tons of print. I mean, it's difficult not to find a lot of them. Oh, you do? You have 3 of them? Oh my gosh. Yeah, the little tiny ones. I think I have a little, not a hardback, but I might have a little thin one that I kept to do a craft with maybe when we get closer to Easter, like kind of like not a giveaway, but I don't know. Maybe it came in a Happy Meal or something, but it's a little paperback one. And I probably will use the originals out of that. Be right back. Okay, come back. So yeah, so I realized that didn't work. So I just went onto Pinterest and I typed in William Morris free printable and just looked for one that I liked the colorway of it, that I thought it would go well with my focal. So again, you should be able to find them easily. And right before we went on, I went on to Amazon to see if you can, this is like 100 postcards. There's so many in here. So you can see the back. They're meant to be postcards. They're this really thick cardstock. And I went, and they do sell it on Amazon, but I'm kind of funny. I don't like to put my affiliate links if they're not eligible for the Amazon free shipping. And they were like $24. It was $24 and it wasn't eligible for Amazon free shipping. So you can look around if this is something, I mean, I think there's so, I don't know, $24. I don't think it's a very good price, but I did see that there were a bunch of like stationery and books and stuff like that. So if you don't feel comfortable finding printables or you don't have a printer, it looked like there was some economical Philip Morris stuff on Amazon. So that's that. Okay, let me turn around. Let's see here. Let me swing this around. Oops, my phone fell. Sorry about that noise. I had my phone propped against the, oops, I don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. Okay, full screen. I might pull back a little bit. Let me get you guys a little bit more centered. Let me turn my laptop around. Okay, sorry, I have a big mess here. Okay, so here's the book. I showed you that. I showed you the postcards. Here's my little pile of envelopes. We'll get those out of the way. And let me get that out of the way. We don't need that piece. Okay, so now I'll kind of show you how this, get that out of the way. Okay, so here's our little journal. Hopefully you can see that. Let me come in a little bit closer. It does that kind of wah-wah thing. Let me turn this a little bit, so you guys are a little bit flatter. Okay, so here's the journal. I've added a little tie, and of course we'll go over this step by step. So today we're building the journal. We're putting it together. We will be decorating the front cover and the back cover. And then next week, we will be playing with the inside. We will be decorating the inside. Now, I did kind of start decorating some of it just so I had a little bit of a head start for next week. And I'll just kind of show you that, some of the elements I can take out. But here's the front cover. So we have our William Morris printable paper. There's some, what do I want to say, vintage laces. I picked out one of the photocopies that I did from the book. I've added some Tim Holtz, like little die cuts that kind of at the end, I felt like it needed a little bit something. We'll be making a little label with fall with those clickable stamps that we like using. And the back I kept very simple, and then I just added a little collage because you know me, I always like to do a little something on the back. So I just used some of those little mini Tim Holtz labels, and all that stuff's down in the supply. Hi, Leanne. Leanne is here. Oh, I'm so glad you're here, friend. I know sometimes Leanne said she schedules things on Thursday and she can't always be with us. So I'm so glad you're here, my friend. I hope you're doing good. Oh, and I need to get back to you too. I haven't gotten back to you about the calendar thing. So isn't it beautiful? Oh my gosh. I love William Morris, and I think it looks so beautiful with the Beatrix Potter. I think it just blends really nice. So I have started, I started a little bit on the inside, but basically this is kind of the inside of the journal. But yeah, kind of ignore that. But I did need to get a little bit of a head start. Oops, let me take this stuff out and then you guys can see a little bit better. Let me take this out too. I should have done that before this morning. So yeah, so it's just, it's such an easy build. It will go together very quickly. And then I just did one little flip out here. There are so many ways you can put these envelope journals together. You can make it so that the envelopes are usable. In this case, I'm just basically using it as a substrate. Other than this flip out, I didn't put it together so that the inside of the envelope became a pocket, but I mean, there's so many amazing ways. Like you can go on YouTube and Pinterest and search around, and then here's the rest of the page. And basically we're just using 7 ooh, it's doing that in and out, which I don't like. And I have so much stuff around me, it's probably going to do it. So I'm going to pull away a little bit. Hi, Kathy. Hello. How are you? Happy Thursday. Oh, did you change your, oh, I love your, oh, it's a new one. You're in your Picasso Gets Creative YouTube. I love your new avatar. It's cute. I like it. super cute. And then, yeah, and then here's the back of that. So let me put this aside and let's get working on the base of the journal. Like I said, it's 7 envelopes. And what I went ahead and did, and you can see they're just, they're kind of those flimsy ones, and you can use any size that you have. That's what's great about this. And it doesn't have to be fall theme. Of course, you can use it for Christmas. You can use it for any theme. That's what's so good about the base of it itself. So it's kind of, these aren't really, thick envelopes, but once you glue it and put it together, it is very nice and sturdy. What I did was I went ahead and inked my envelope. So I inked all the edges, both sides. I inked around here as well, and I left one uninked. So I'll show you that when we get to that. And you can use any color ink that works with your the look that you're after. Okay, so hopefully I'm explaining it right. Okay, so this is how we are going to put it together. So you're going to take your first envelope and you're going to have the open side up. Your flap is here to your right. You're going to take your next envelope and you are going to lay it face side down. So hopefully you can see that. So here's my opening side. So my opening side is going down, and I'm going to fold that flap back. Hopefully that makes sense. And what we are going to do is we will be gluing this flap down to the envelope on the left side. Hopefully that all makes sense. And what I did too, that I found handy is I wrote a little template, and I'm just going to keep this with the journal once I'm done. I like to do that with things that I make, just so if I need to go back and refresh my memory. Okay, so I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. I think that's the best. Hi, Big Mama. How are you? How are you? Oh my gosh. Big Mama made the most. So I haven't seen any of your more recent videos, but she made the most amazing, gorgeous journal a few videos ago that I watched. Big Mama, let's see, are you blue? I don't think you are. Let me make you blue and put the link to your channel in. Let's see. Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful. If you guys aren't following her, please do so. It was just gorgeous. Yeah, gorgeous, gorgeous. Yes. Oh my gosh. Just lovely. Just so lovely. And all the detail, it was a beautiful flip through. All the details that you included. Oh my gosh, it blew me away. Okay, so I'm going to take, where is my pen? I'm kind of clogged here. I always do that. That's on my to-do list, is to make one of those like little dangles, Oops, let me take that off. To make one of those little glue bottle dangles. Because I'm always losing, even though it has a red top, I'm always losing it. Okay, so here we go. And I'm just running, oops, there's a little ookie there. I'm just running a bead of glue along all 3 edges of that triangle, and then I'm just filling in the middle. Okay. And there we go. We're just going to press that down. So easy peasy. Let me look at something. Now I'm second guessing myself. Nope, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Okay. All right. So we have that glued down. We glued down our first flap. Now we're going to flip. We're going to flip that second page over to the left. And I'm going to take this one, this back one here, and I'm going to fold it under because we aren't going to do anything with that. So basically we look the same, sort of like we looked, other than the fact that that flap was there. And I'm going to fold that back because we'll wrap that around later. I'm going to take another envelope that's been inked up. Okay. And we're going to lay that down just like we did before. And we're going to glue that. Go around our triangle. Okay, and there we have that page. So far we have a journal with 1 page, 2 page, 3 page, 4 page. And obviously you can add as many, you could stop there. I felt six seemed to work well for this project. Okay, so here's my next one. Okay, repeat and repeat. Kind of line that up, fold that over. We'll check ourselves, make sure I'm well aligned here. Okay, I'm going to fold that. I'm going to grab my next one, line that up. And glue that down. I'm going to check myself. I'm doing this probably a little bit quicker than you would at home. I think I got a little bit unaligned there, but that's okay. We have the time of trying to get this done. Okay. Okay, and now let's see. I want my last one. So this one I will ink up. I didn't ink up this last one, and it's so quick and easy. I used a vintage photo for this. I thought it went well with the vintage look. And then I also came in and added peeled paint after I did the vintage photo. So this is the Tim Holtz peeled paint, which is a really nice green. And I thought that looked really nice too. It blended well with the William Morris paper and the Beatrix Potter. It just had a cool look. I'm very partial to that sort of copper, warm copper with the green patina. And I thought it sort of mimics that a little bit. I love to play around with the turquoise and the browns and the greens and the browns. I like that look. So just super easy. A lot of these pages or the, envelope will end up getting covered. But just depending on what we do with our inside pages, I think it's nice to ink it up. And then I'm just going to give a little bit of ink to this side of the envelope flap. Okay, and then here's our last one. And we will do that. So easy peasy. This is just a really great go-to for a really quick and simple base of a journal. And you can, like I said, you can have a ton of fun experimenting with how you want the envelopes to be glued together, if you want some pockets. Okay, so there we have it. I'll put this flat back. So we have 1 page, 2 page, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a pretty big journal. And then we have the back here. Now, we are going to fold this back flap over and glue it. But I think before I do that, I'm going to glue in. I did it the opposite way. I glued this back flap first, and then I added in my other envelope, that sort of that fold out, but I think I will glue this back one last. And I think, where did I put that? It really doesn't matter. You can have your flip out wherever you want it to be. I think I did it on, so I have 1 page, 2 page. So I did it on my third from the back. That kind of made sense, the way I was putting my journal together. So here's our flip out. So we have our back cover, 1 page, 2 page, and this is where we are going to attach our flip out. Now, what I did for my flip out is I took a piece of craft paper and I lined the inside of the pocket. It's a little bit tedious, so I thought I wouldn't do it together. But basically, let me grab a piece of cardstock. It's very fiddly. I thought I would be kind of too hyper and I kind of might mess it up together. But basically what I found worked well, and I used art glitter glue because I felt like it would be very difficult to do it with a glue stick. And I like that precision tip on the art glitter glue. So basically what I did was I found the size, right, that worked for my envelope. This is too small. It's not wide enough. So basically I had the width that I needed. I just kept it long because I like the ability to move it around. And so basically what you do is you come in with your art glitter glue once you have your width cut, and you just kind of, you glue around. In fact, this one's a little bit stuck there. So I just put glue as best I could around the edges, you know, tried to keep this lifted, laid some glue down here, and then took my cardstock and put it in there and just press down. So that's what I found what worked the best for me. But again, it's something you want to take your time with and, you know, be slow, and because you don't want to glue your envelope together. And then what I did at the end, once it was glued in there, is I came in and I trimmed. I just turned my envelope over and I trimmed it. So that's what I found that worked the best. Oh, okay, wait. Yep. Let me, oh, I have more that need to, yeah. Let me see. Mama Juju. Let's see. Add, let me do it on my phone. Standard. Who else isn't? Caroline isn't. And I am a very friendly channel of putting your links in. So if you have a YouTube channel, please do feel comfortable to put your links in. I think that's wonderful. We find new people to follow that way, and new content and new inspiration. So please do feel free to put your links in. And then I know I'm following all of you. I'm going to make sure. Let me make sure I am. I am. I just want to make sure. of that. Let me go back here. I was pretty sure, but I wanted to make sure I was following Mama Juju. Okay. Okay, perfect. And let's see. Oh, Angela's here. Hello, Angela. Hello, hello. I hope you're having a good day. And I saw, yeah, Caroline, this is like so simple. It's so easy. And you could do it for whatever. It's just such a great, simple, easy base. And then you can take it from there. So yeah, and then you just come around, like I said, and cut it out. That was the easiest way I found. But again, it's a little bit fiddly. You want to take your time with the glue. Let me make sure here. 1, 2, 3. So I decided I would kind of skip ahead. And then once you put your paper in, you can just crease it here, and it gets a really nice crease to it. You could also, like, this is a vintage envelope. I was originally going to make the whole thing out of these, but look how wonderful the inside is. And I didn't want to hide the inside of that because it's so vintagey and good. So I decided, I had started inking them, and I'm like, no, wait, I have these blank ones that aren't lined. So I'll save this for, in fact, maybe, I guess we can use it. No, I think I'll use this for that. We'll save it for another project. So all we're doing is kind of same thing. We're laying this one to the right, and then we're going to glue this tab in, and then that will be our fold out. Hopefully that makes sense. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ink this sort of inside crease here. I'm going to ink that up a little bit. Oh, are you, Angela? You're not feeling good. Oh, I'm sending you a hug. Oh, heating blanket sounds wonderful. That was the one thing Jim and I learned on this last camping trip, because we've never camped up in the Sierras this late. We always had to work. This is the first year we've been able to, and really, this is the first year we've ever camped by ourselves. We've always had both kids, or at least one, with us. So we're sort of entering this new, we're not empty nesters. Kids are both home attending college, but we have hit that point where they are good on their own. They are young adults, and obviously they can be home. They're no longer, in school, where we would not responsibly leave them alone. So this is, we are definitely entering a new chapter where we're not quite retired, but we can kind of start adventuring a little bit. We're slowly getting used to it. We're slowly getting used to it. Okay, so we've glued that in, but it was so cold. It was so cold on our camping trip. We were like, we had heaters going. We had full hookups, and so we had the motorhome heater, and we had a couple plug-ins, but we were realizing, oh my gosh, a heated blanket would be so nice. Would be so nice. And we live in Southern California, so that isn't something that we really need here or have ever owned. So yeah, let's see. Oh, Angela, we're all sending you hugs. Lots of fluids. Take some Tylenol. I think that always helps me too. Tea, honey, all that stuff. Are you an empty nester? Yeah, we're probably a couple years away. Our youngest just started JC, and then our oldest just graduated from JC, and then she is starting at 4U University in the spring. So I think maybe January is the spring semester starts. But she is, well, I don't know. We're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how the commute is, whether she's going to stay home or commute. I don't know. If the commute gets too long, we may look at doing something else, but it's probably, I mean, technically, I guess it should be 40 minutes, but you know, Los Angeles traffic, how that could be. So we'll, you know, we'll kind of see. She would prefer to stay at home. It's comfortable here with mom and dad. Oh, your son went away to college? Yeah. Yeah. I don't so far we'll see what Ryan ends up doing. He has 2 years at JC, so I'm not sure. We'll see what if he ends up going. And of course both kids can um, you know, we're not those parents like you have to stay home, stay with us. I like to take our cues from them and what they're interested in doing. Let's see, 5 hours away. Yeah, that's far, but still, you know, is that too far though? Maybe that's too far. Like he wouldn't come home on the weekend, or does he come home on the weekend? I think Ryan's friends that have gone away, they haven't come back yet since they went away to college. And then he has one, well, a couple friends that are at 4-year universities, but same thing, close by and local. So he sees them often. Let's see, what did Amy say? My poor parents had an empty home for 3 to 4 years, and my sister moved back, and she moved into her new home last February. Yeah, yeah, we have family members whose kids moved out and then came back. It's, you know, different combinations. I will say too, living in California, the cost of living is so crazy here. Um, just rent, everything. It's just out of control and super crazy. So I think too, like looking at some of our family, you know, that's been a consideration too, or coming back home for a while and saving for their own place. So we've had some different combinations in our family. Um yeah, it is nice. And I actually moved, so I lived on my own. Um Yeah, I lived on like kind of college years, lived on my own, and then in San Diego County. And then when I moved back up here to Los Angeles, I was born in LA County. And when I moved back up this way, I actually lived with my dad and stepmom. So that was kind of early 20s. And I lived with them for maybe a year and a half, and it was so fun. We had the best time. You know, my parents were divorced, so I didn't live full time with my dad and stepmom. I lived full time with my mom and stepdad. And that's a big mouthful. And so it was nice. We look back fondly on that time where I lived with them, and then I just saved, moved out, rented for a while, and then was able to buy a place a few years after that. But it was fun. We had a really good time. We had a good time. Oh, that's good. Okay, so it is close enough. Yeah, so you saw him in October and then back for Thanksgiving. That's awesome. That's awesome. Uh, let's see. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Yeah, Florida's bad. Florida's bad too. Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot. I have felt for my, you know, nieces and nephews, and then, you know, too, we wonder how it will be for, you know, Taylor and Ryan when they get to that point. Okay. All right. So let me look at this. Okay. So our next step. So we have our flip out. Our flip out is done. There's our flip out. And mine is a little bit wonky because I was doing it quickly and chit-chatting. So mine's a little bit off. Again, it's handmade, but mine got a little bit off here. You can see one of the envelopes is sticking out a little bit, but that's okay. So what we're going to do with this back flap here, we still have this back flap, And what I'm doing is I'm folding it back and then I'm giving it a little bit of a crease. It's almost like I'm making a spine here. And of course, what's so cool, the more envelopes that you add, the thicker the spine becomes. Let me see if I can show you in this one. I don't know if you can see. So yeah, you can kind of see it. It's like a thick, so we have a bit of a flat, thick spine here is what we've developed. So you can hopefully kind of see it in that one. It's so hard with this plug-in camera. Hopefully that, yeah, I think that's coming through. So I'm folding it and then just start kind of running my fingers and I'm basically squaring it off. Hopefully that makes sense. And you could wait to do this. I had thoughts of maybe, oh, should I wait to do it after I fill it? But I've started filling this other one and it's okay. Seems to be okay. And just like the others, I'm just putting glue on that triangle flap and I will glue that over. Kind of press that down and it's sort of become there. Hopefully that's a good shot. So you can kind of see that it's squared off like a book spine would be. And then I'm going to take my ink dauber and just accentuate that some more. So you can tell that it's a really squared off spine there. Hopefully you can kind of see that. Hopefully that's coming through. And then I'm going to take a few minutes. I'm going to change my dauber and then just come in with this peeled paint a little bit. Just to add a little bit of green here and there. I just like the way it looked with the paper. You probably won't spend too much time and get too crazy with it, but and I think what I'm going to do, usually I end up with two of things, right? Because I come up with the prototype for our projects that we do together, and then we always make one together. But I think what I may do is probably not this one because it came out a little bit wonky. But I think once we are done and we've decorated next week, I'm going to finish it if it doesn't end up being finished, and I will list it in my Etsy shop. Not for much, but I certainly don't need two of everything. I like to keep one of most things that I make. It's then nice for me to be able to kind of look back at it. And as I said, I like to keep instructions for how I made that thing. And to the extent that I can do that. I do that with my assemblages too. I often end up keeping one or something similar to what I've made. And it makes it much easier. Oh, did I do? No, I think I did that. I think I did it the right way. I might have messed up. We'll see after I end up inking it here. So yeah, I think I'll end up listing it. So after you've been doing this for a long time, your cabinets get very full of things that you make. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. Oh, I miss Kim. Hi, Kim. Hello. Happy Thursday. I'm so glad you're here. Oh, I used 7 envelopes total. So we glued 6 envelopes together to make the base of the envelope. And then this, the one that we created the flap with, that is number 7. And you could, oh my gosh, you could just keep going on and on and on. You could have multiple flip outs. You could just make so many different what am I trying to say? Combinations of envelopes. So you can just keep going and going and going. That's what's fun about it. And they're so cheap. They're so cheap. And what I think is cool too, if you have the window envelopes, wouldn't it be cool if some of them, you know, because they also, you know, those often come with our like bills and stuff, is this size of the window envelope. Wouldn't that be cute? Like if one of the pages you left is an envelope, even if you ended up gluing it, but if you filled the inside with something really cool, wouldn't that be sweet? Yeah, so there's seven total I used. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. I may have. I know you guys are all chit-chatting, which I love. Sharing where you all live. Let's see. Big Mama said, I found that making these little envelope journals are terrific for giving as Christmas gifts to your postman, your bank teller at the drive-through waitresses. Oh, what a great idea. Yes, and you can make them as big or as small. You could even like, you know, for your postman. What a great idea. You could stick a little gift card or a little note. Oh my gosh, I love that. What a great idea. Oh, are they your boys are seniors this year in high school? Yes, that like it wasn't so much when our oldest graduated, but yeah, this past year when our son graduated high school, that was just, I don't know. It was a big mental, it was a mental shift for me too. Just that change, like, oh my gosh, I don't have, my babies are not in elementary, you know, not elementary school, but they're not in, you know, high school, the public school, our schools. But, and easy for my son. He ended up going to the same junior college that our daughter attended, so made it, you know, kind of easy for him. She always kind of paves the way, seems like. So that made it a lot easier. She was super helpful with signing up for his classes and all that stuff. It's like a kind of a big blessing. I think that he has this big sis to kind of help him, and it helps us too, because then I haven't had to kind of jump in and figure that out. And I like to you know, it's kind of a bonding thing for the two of them too. Okay, let me see. I think I did pretty good with the green. And as we're decorating, you know, you can come back and do it. Let me hit that one a little bit more. But anyway, okay, so I've added the green. Again, that's just an extra step. You don't need to do that, or you can pick whatever second color. I'm going to put that in there briefly. Okay, so we have our journal. Let me make sure. I briefly thought I had done it incorrectly, but I didn't. Okay, so now let's build our cover. Let's see here. Okay, so here's our cover. So here is the printable I found with the William Morris paper. And again, I just printed it. You know, I downloaded it from the internet. I saved it, and then I did it where it's 2 to a page, just to shrink it down. Also because I wanted the print to be a little bit smaller. I could have done a single page, but if you do a single page, the print just becomes a lot bigger, and I did not want it to overpower our little Beatrix Potter print out here. So what I'm doing is I am just going to take you can use the paper cutter, you can use scissors, but I'm going to take my metal ruler, and I love when I'm trying to get kind of a ripped wavy edge. Sometimes I'll use the metal side, but when I want to get more of a ripped look, I like to lay it down with the cork side down, and it just gives it more of a rough ripped look. And I'll kind of show you that. So kind of gives a cool look to it. Let's see here. I'm going to rip down this top. Oops. That one kind of didn't rip as well here. I have to go back. There we go. Kind of fixed it. Okay, so I just ripped down 2 sides, and then I'm going to come in and just make a rough measurement. Wait, what happened here? I think I did it too. Ooh, I did it too much. Okay, we're just going for it. Wonder if I printed it smaller. Well, I didn't take much off of it. Okay, we're just going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to come in. This one printed out much smaller than this one did, but we will make it work. So actually, I'm going to have to go right up to that point. And then I'm going to rip this side down. Yeah, that's weird. Maybe I just took too much off of it, but I don't want to go in the other room and be away from the camera. So I probably should have left that strip. I thought I had more to play with. Maybe I just had some to play with on the sides and not the top and the bottom, but we will make it work. We'll just end up with a little bit more of a border. So I'm just going to lay it down, take my pencil, and then just kind of do a rough line of where I want to rip that down. And I will be sure to check it a couple times here. Hopefully I did that well. Okay, so hopefully it can make sense with, and I don't know if it's the way I printed it out, but I was a lot closer. I had less of a border, if that makes sense. So we are ending up with a little bit more of the envelope showing, but that's okay. Not a big deal. We are going to ink that up before we glue it down. I'm using Vintage Photo. And I think I'm probably going to come in with a little bit of walnut just to give a little bit more contrast on the side. I've been really into the like the look of using like black or the walnut. It really makes things stand out really well. Kind of been into that look. Make sure I'm not missing anything. I saw the comment about laundry. Yeah, we have a lot of laundry every week still. I think Kathy asked about that one time. Are the kids doing their own laundry? We don't, as a family, we don't like create a ton of laundry. So I'm not currently having the kids do their own because we'd end up with a lot of little tiny loads. So I've just been mixing them together, but yeah, at some point, I think once they get ready to officially fly the coop, definitely will have a period of time where they're just doing all their own stuff. But we all do dig in as a family and fold and hang, and so even my husband, we're all kind of good about that. Okay, so I'm just coming back in with the walnut just to give it a little bit more emphasis. And then I'm going to come in and just mark it with my pencil. I find when I'm doing the art glitter glue, if I give myself that little a little more successful. and I have less oopses. It's really drying out a lot today. I also think I need to fill up my bottle. I buy the big refill ones. I've started doing that with the refill bottle, and then I just fill up the smaller one. I'm going through it so much. Okay. Make sure I have it going the right direction with the flowers upright. Pretty good there. Okay, so there is for William Morris. I'm going to add a little bit here on the edges. I didn't quite get that glued down there. I think we're pretty good. Okay. Okay, we have that down. Now let's start building our focal here with the Beatrix Potter. Let's see, do we want to use the same one or a different one? Oh, let's do the same one. Yeah, let's do the same one. Okay, so we're going to do that same technique with our ruler. I think what I'll do, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. I think I'll rip down this way. It's easier when you have more. I'm right-handed. If you're right-handed or left-handed, I find it's easier when I have more of the paper on my right and I'm pulling that way than when I'm pulling with the little bit. Let's see, just trying to think, how much of a border do I want to leave here? Well, let's do this side first. And then I'm just leaving kind of a rough visual border. It's a little bit harder when you get to this point. I think what I'm going to do is give myself a little bit of a pencil. So I know where to line that up. We're not looking for perfect, but we're fairly close. Okay. All right, now we're repeating again. We're taking some of that vintage photo. And here you can really see how rough that rip is. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I love that look. Kind of depending on what my project is. I like it that rough ruler rip, or if I want it a little bit finer, I turn it over on the metal side. But I think that looks really cool. And I think I kind of rounded the edges a little bit on the other, so I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take my finger, and rather than have them super square, I just kind of gave them a little rip there in the corner. You can kind of see that. And let's take a little bit of that walnut. I don't know what happened to my other dauber. And I'm apologize, I'm not looking at the chat as much today just because we have so much. We have so many steps in this. It's a little bit longer of a process, but I know you guys are having fun talking to each other. But if you notice, I'm not reading the chat as much because I'm a talker. I squirrel. No pun intended, but I squirrel very easily. Okay, so I think that looks fabulous. Now, what I did for this back is I came in with a little bit of thin craft paper and kind of created a little border just so there was some definition between, because the Beatrix Potter is very similar color-wise to the Philip or William Morris paper that I picked. And I didn't have another piece of this, so I just pulled out some others that I think might work. Oh, I like that with the writing. I want something a little bit darker. And this is just from one of those cheapy paper pads, the thin paper pads. It kind of has that reproduction vintage look. And I think I might have gotten this from Temu actually a bunch of years ago. I think it's been several years. And I love this one. It has sort of a faux kind of a handwriting look. I think that looks nice. So I'm just going to do just a rough border. Kind of look at it again. Yeah. So I lined up two sides. Let's see, it's probably right about there. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it and I pull out my paper trimmer because I think I have much more success when I do that. It's much straighter than when I try to use scissors. Put that over there. Kind of see where we're at. Oh, I love everybody subbing to each other. I love that. Okay, that's good. So I've just made just sort of a little frame, a little border with that paper. I think that looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And then we'll do a little bit of inking. So I'm going to do that little pencil trick again. I think if I was home, I'd probably, or not home, I am home. I am home. If I was doing this, you know, alone and not live with all of you, I would maybe use a glue stick for this step. It's a little less expensive than the art glitter, but we're looking for fast drying. And I find with the glue sticks, a lot of time, you know, they stay wet and kind of damp. You all probably find the same thing. But if you're just crafting kind of at your leisure, you have the benefit of time. Do you all find that happens? That kind of, where it kind of feels damp for a period of time? Okay. Just went in and erased my pencil marks. And then I'm going to come in with this paper punch and I'm going to do the 4mm, which is the smallest, just to give it a little bit more interest with rounded corners. And kind of same thing. We're going to come back in with our ink. I think I'll hit it with the walnut first. I love the love. I love the love, everyone. Makes me happy. I think it's part of, you know, why I like doing lives so much. And I know that's kind of not the norm with a lot of crafters and content creators. But really, I like being live. I like the connection of that. Well, and also because I started off only doing lives, I never did sort of recorded content. I feel like I'm just learning how to do that. I'm trying to become more adept and proficient with that, but being live, I had a really good comfort level with that in the beginning, so that may be why too. Okay, so we've inked up that piece of paper that has now become our little frame in our border. And I'm just going to kind of look at our placement here. I think we're looking good. Now let's work on our label. And I will show you a little trick that I figured out. It only took me a while. Maybe it took me a couple years to figure it out. So I've gone ahead and stamped part of this label. So I'm just using one of my silicone stamp sets. I love this one. I couldn't find the same one. I may have picked this up from Temu. I tried to find something similar from Amazon. So I did put that link down below. I did find one that had a lot of similar shapes, but it has like a little dot, dot, dot in the middle, which I actually kind of like that detail. And I use this, this size. I don't know if you need to know what the dimension. This is just a little label that's about 1 3/4 by 1 inch, I think. Yeah, well, like 1 1/8 is about the size of that one. But I went ahead and did it because, again, it's a little fiddly, but I figured out an easier way to do it. And the part that is fiddly is getting the lettering. If you're using those clickable stamps, is to get the lettering lined up. This was kind of my first attempt. As you can tell, I was super high on that. And my little trick, again, took me forever to finally figure that out, is to take the stamp itself. So these are those little clickable stamps that we love, the alphabet stamps. And I'm not sure what size this is. These are the uppercase, but it is down in the description. Are they the 3/4 inch? No, I'm sorry, 1/4 inch. These are the 1/4 inch uppercase ones. But what I figured out is if you lay it on its side, so stamp your label. I used, for mine, I used the walnut stain to stamp the label itself. But then if you take your clickable stamp and actually line it up, center it on your label. Hopefully my head is not in the way, but center it on your label, and then just take your pencil and draw a line on either side. And I'll show you the close-up. So there you can see where I drew the bottom line and the top line, because then when you go to stamp it, you put the edge right on that line. And whoops, I don't have the right way. But when you put the edge right on that line, it's perfection. I mean, we don't care if it's a little bit off-sided or off-sided top to bottom, but that I don't like. That bothers that bothers my eye when it's too crazy. I love these clickable stamps. April, I saw April or Juju. I love these. I originally bought them and was using them a lot for assemblage making. I like making little like little cardboard, what do I even call it? Like little banners and things like that. So that's what I originally bought them to use, but I've been using them a ton as I ventured into the world of junk journaling and journal making. I've been using them a lot lately, and I have them in a couple different sizes. I think, I don't know what they are, what the price point is. I put the link for this size down below. Are they less than $20? I don't know, but I've used them so much. I've really got, and I mean, I think they'll last for, you can see kind of the other side. And I'm not really good about cleaning them, but I think they're really well made. And I think there may be some other sites that have, you know, kind of less expensive uh, options. So I would look at that too. Okay, so I'm going to kind of fussy cut. I'm going to leave a little bit of a border. I'm going to leave a little bit of white. I need to erase that pencil, but I'm going to leave a little bit of white. I could be wrong. I feel like the Denison labels maybe have a little bit of white, I think. I don't know if the colored portion of the label goes right up to the side. I do have some boxes of Denison labels. I'm vintage ones I've kind of been hoarding. So I could look at those. Where's my eraser? Okay, so I'm going to come in and just erase those lines. I love these. I don't know what kind of erasers are these. These are from the Japanese store. What is that Japanese craft store? Daiso. I think we get them at Daiso, but these are really good. These kind of white, I don't know what kind of erasers those are, but those are like my go-to. Okay, we're gonna come in and ink because we ink everything. I think for this one, I'm just gonna do the vintage photo. Gonna give that a little, and I'm even gonna go over the top a little bit. And what I always stamp my labels on, I always keep the offcuts of vintage paper. So when I'm going through my books and I'm using the text, you know, I always keep the, you know, the lead pages, any of that blank paper. That's always what I make my labels out of. I mean, you could just do straight, you know, regular copy paper too, but I just love the look. And if we're trying to, you know, use as much vintage as possible, I think you kind of can't recreate that look, but I'm just going to age that up a little bit more. And then what I did with this other one is I came in with one of my textured stamps. I think we'll use this one. And I just gave it a little bit, I just kind of aged it up a little bit. So if you can kind of see that, just to give it a little bit more dimension, we're just going to add a little bit more age to that. And I think I am going to grab this VersaFine Vintage Sepia. It has a little bit of green to it, a little bit of green tone that I like. It kind of goes well with the project, I think. Just because there was a lot of white space. I was trying to think of what other word I could put in there, but as you can see, it kind of fills it up a little bit, just so there's not so much white. I could have done like what, fall y'all, but I'm not from the South, so I kind of feel funny if I say stuff like that. Oh, thank you, Caroline. Aren't they good, Leanne? I love them. Like, you know, if you don't have the clickable stamps, I'm one of those people, I love very practical gifts. So like birthday and Christmas, like with my parents or kids and Jim and stuff, I'm very big on saying, oh, I would, you know, love this stuff. Like these clickable stamps, to me, I would be so excited to get these for Christmas or my birthday. Those are the kind of things that I like to ask for because I will get so much love and enjoyment out of them. So yeah, so that might be, if you don't already have some, might make a fun and easy suggestion to your family, right? Of something you'd love to have for Christmas. Okay, I'm going to take, we're actually going to glue this label onto one of these Philip Morris postcards. And we'll be using more of these on the inside. as well, but I wanted to bring a little bit of orange. I just realized I forgot a step. Oh my goodness. I just realized I totally forgot a step, but we'll figure out, maybe we'll figure out a workaround. I forgot to glue the material underneath this front cover. Okay, how are we going to fix that? I should have written out like a little, like step 1, 2, 3. Just realized I totally forgot to do that. Okay, and I'm just going to use my scissors and just do like a little bit of an eyeball border. Find the longer scissors are easier to do this with than the little cutter bees. Of course, now I'm coming back and it just gets smaller and smaller, right? Because you start having to even it up. Okay, and then I am going to come in and mimic the shape of the label. Okay, yeah, how am I, type into the chat, how am I going to fix that? We'll figure out a way. Okay, so there's our little border, the label. We're going to ink that. Think about how we're going to fix that. Yeah, that is the great thing, right? Whoops, it's not wanting to stick anymore. Oh, because I still have that one on. That's a great thing. That's the thing I love about, paper crafting, junk journaling, is there's absolutely no right way of doing any of this. There's no wrong way. I said that the opposite. There's absolutely no wrong way crafting with paper, I feel like. Okay, so we've inked that up. So we have those components. We're doing well. Okay, so the other thing I included on this was a strip of just vintage lace that I kind of put behind our little squirrel here. So I'm going to cut that piece and think about how, yeah, cut that piece. And I'm not going quite to, I'm still leaving a border of that paper around it. Where's my pinking shears? Where did those go? And I'm going to use my pinking shears. I kind of like that look rather than straight. There we go. Pretty good. Okay. All right, let's look at this. Okay, we have that. We have that. I'm avoiding because I need to figure out a way to fix that. Okay, and then so here's my little bowl here of little different things. And what I did, I already went and just ripped off a piece of material. I had this sort of bigger piece of batik, which I love, by the way. I love batik fabric. I think it has a really cool look when we're trying to get that vintage look. I'm just cutting off some of these stray strings here. So I've just ripped it down, cut it and ripped it. I do not, Caroline. You can, to me, well, this is kind of normal. But if I'm not crafting, I try to clean it off when I'm with all of you because the camera does this up and down thing. But usually when it's just me, I'm crafting in this little tiny space right here. This is just covered with junk. And I always find I'm in this little tiny space. But the thing I did this week, which I always say, I've been saying forever. So my craft space is our dining room. It's kind of our open dining room. It's open to our living room. So it's one big room, living room, dining room. It's at the front of our house. Because we're not empty nesters, we just have a 3-bedroom house. All the bedrooms are occupied. So this is the only place in the house that I can craft. And for some reason, I always craft at the narrow end of our dining table, because I like the backdrop. So when I was live, I kind of looks nicer, kind of the backdrop. So I'm always at this little tiny end, but I have another section set up the long ways, and I never switch over. I always just keep sitting at this little tiny end all week long, until the next craft and chat. But this time, for the first time, I switched over and I moved my rolly chair over to the longer side, because I have another one of these mats set up for when Taylor's crafting with me and stuff. So I don't have to take so much stuff up, but I did that for the first time this week. So I went over to the longer, and it was so much nicer. I could spread out because I have what? I'm literally crafting 12, I'm measuring it here, 24, what's 24 plus 12, and then maybe another 4 inches. So it's pretty narrow, but it was so nice to be sitting. Leanne knows, because she's been at my house, but sitting the long end, it worked pretty well because I have a lot of my supplies in this cart. The only thing, I did have to get up and kind of come around to get at my paper bin over here. But oh my gosh, I'm always going to do that. I'm not ever going to just keep sitting on this little tiny spot over here. And the reason why I filmed this end too is my swing arm that my camera fits into. If I sit the long way, the swing arm won't reach over to the other side. So that's a long story there. It's a long story. Well, it looks okay, but not behind the camera, not behind my laptop. It's terrible. I have just piles and piles of stuff, and they get really high, and then I have to do a haul video because you can't see the top of the dining table. Okay, so but let's see, how are we going to do this? We could just run it behind. Let's see what that's going to look like. Again, this is probably going to be the one that I keep anyway. Maybe it will look really cool. Maybe it'll even look better. Yep, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to run it over the top of the paper. And then the one in the back, we will put the paper over the top of it. I think that's what we're going to do. And it's actually going to look pretty cool. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of even up. Let's figure out the placement of the ribbon. Ooh, this is a long project, huh? I never time myself when I'm making the actual one, because I do it in spurts. I have some days where I can sit and craft for a long time, and then other days where there's other stuff going on in our busy household. Okay, I'm doing this in a really weird way. It's very fiddly. Okay, it's pretty good. Okay, I'm going to try to keep my finger down there. I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac. Hopefully it end up pretty even. Fabri-Tac's kind of forgiving. So hopefully we're fairly straight. I think we're pretty good there. Okay, so glued that half, and then we'll glue the other half. We fixed it. We came up with a workaround. Plus, it makes it more fun that way, right? We have to think. We We have to be quick on our feet here. Okay, I think that's pretty good. That's pretty even. Okay, I'm going to glue down this other half here. Okay, pretty straight there. I think that'll look good. Okay, like that. Okay, let me take a look. Let me make sure I'm not going to mess up any other stuff. Okay, so here's our lace. So I think we could go. Yeah, we could go ahead. And actually, I like that. I like the little peek behind the lace there. Okay. Again, that looks so awkward. I guess, well, you know what? I'm going to take the whole thing off. I think I'll be more successful if I do that. In these really kind of delicate, see-through-y laces, you just have to kind of get the higher points or get the wider points. Do it as good as well as I can. Get down the sides. That's pretty good. That's probably good enough. We'll try to leave somewhat of a border there. That looks nice. Okay, let me put that away. So that's, the tip is down. Okay, and now let's have our little squirrel here. Sure, we kind of like the way that is. And I think I'll probably center it. Let me see. Oh, let's see. The other things we want to take out. Where's my bowl here? So the other thing I had up at the top, I felt like it needed a little something. So the prototype, I put a button up here. So let's kind of lay out our little pieces here. And I'll kind of show you. So I just rifled through my vintage button collection. I thought it needed a little something up here. So I've added a little button. I added another piece of this batik fabric just to kind of tie back in with the orange. And then I've laid a little piece of that cheesecloth that I love using underneath. So I just did a little sandwich with the material, cheesecloth, and then the button. And then to give the button a little extra something, I took a piece of twine that I had. Hopefully I can do that. Let me grab, I should have set this part up. So what I did was I grabbed a little piece of twine, and this one has a little bit of metallic gold thread running through it. But what I'm going to do is, hopefully it'll, I'm keeping my fingers crossed because of course I only had one of that button. I'm going to wrap a piece of tape on the end, and hopefully I'm sort of creating like a little needle, if that makes sense. Hopefully I can get through this button. That's what I did on the other one. The holes were a little bit bigger, but hopefully that will work. Let me see. Oh, have a good day, Caroline. I'm so glad you were here. Have fun. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your day. Oh, I don't know if it's going to go through. Eek. Eek, eek, eek. Let's see here. Oh, there we go. Success. Okay. So I'm just going to feed it through the top and come back through the bottom, and then we'll just do a little knot. And you could just obviously take needle and thread, would give it a cute look too, but I thought that just gave it a little extra something. I actually love when I come across the vintage buttons that still have the old thread in them. I think that's such a cute look. Oh, this is very fiddly. The holes on this button are much smaller. Okay, good. I did it. Okay, so I'm just going to tie it in a knot. Just a simple knot. Okay. I even thought, oh, maybe we'll get to the inside library pocket. The inside pocket, but there's no way. We're 135 in. There's no way. I did it. I did it. Okay, then we come back and snip that off. And we'll fray it up a little bit. Okay. So cute. And then I'm just going to fray the ends. I think that's really cute. And you will see here in just a little bit why I like the little metallic gold. We're going to use some yarn down below, and then it will kind of make sense. Okay, so here we got our little button. So we're going to start to dry fit. I think I'm going to cut this. So I'm just using my pinking shears. Again, I just kind of ripped to the piece. Oops, it's stuck there. Okay, we have our button, we have our little bit of material. I'm going to grab some of this cheesecloth. It's one of my favorite things. Don't know what I would do without cheesecloth. And I love this really loose. I have a couple different versions. I have kind of that creamy one that has a tighter weave, but I really love this loose weave. That might be too big of a piece, but we're going to stick that down there. Okay, so we've made a little sandwich. We might come back and trim that a little bit. Okay. And then there's our little frame. We have our little fall label. And what I did here, I had some, this was actually from that Epic estate sale. I picked up a couple skeins of this Martha Stewart glitter eyelash yarn, which I think is really cool. And I thought that would be fun to kind of add a little bit of texture. And then I had this twine and kind of tie. I originally tried to do the yarn through the button, but that was way too difficult. There were too many kind of hanging hairs on there, so I didn't attempt that. I grabbed out, I didn't have another one of these really large die cuts, the Tim Holtz. These come from the, I have it down in the supply list. What is it? It's from the, I'm trying to think. What is that stamp set? Field Notes. I think it's from the Field Notes, and I didn't have another large one, but I grabbed a couple of the smaller ones. So let's see of those, which ones we like, which I think will look just as cute. Let's see which one we want to use. Maybe that one. And then the other thing I grabbed was one of the butterflies from that same. Oh, this butterfly is going that way. It's going the opposite way. Oh, that's okay. We'll use it. We'll make it kind of go that way. We will make it work. It's just heading the other direction. Okay. Just kind of doing a little bit of a visual. Because our paper in the background was a little bit smaller, I think I'm going to drop this down a little bit. So I'm not going to be quite as centered, but I think that's okay. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and glue this squirrel down. Should I do my little thing? Maybe I'll do this little thing. That'll be easier. I'll do the little outline here. I can't quite see on top of that that lace, but I'll do my little trick. Sometimes I do that very awkward where you lift up one side and you glue it, and you turn it over and you glue the other side. When I'm with all of you, I always feel like that looks so awkward. Okay. Skein. Okay, good. Okay, skein. Skein like stain. Good. Okay, so there's our squirrel. And we're gluing paper on top of that. Probably could have used Fabri-Tac. I'm going to come back and tack that down a little bit more. It doesn't want to stick to the lace as much. Ooh, not at all. You can be a little bit more generous. I'm going to grab my Fabri-Tac. Where'd it go? Doesn't quite want to stick as well. Stuck well to the paper, but it's not wanting to stick as well to the lace. So let's hit it with the Fabri-Tac. There we go. Okay, we're doing well. Okay, let's get our little button stack here. Definitely going to use Fabri-Tac for that. Okay. And let me make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to try to make that stick in my head. Skein. The older I get, the worse my memory is. I guess like that's probably for all of us. Okay, so we put our cheesecloth down. And surprisingly, I find that Fabri-Tac works super well for buttons. I always use Fabri-Tac for my buttons. It just works really well. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. We have a little button up there. Our squirrel is on. Okay, let's see. Let's ink up our butterfly. Just a little bit. I like to get rid of that white edging on the die cuts. And oops, let me change my, then let's ink up the mushroom. Is this the one we decided to use? Yeah, I think we'll use this one. Same thing. Get rid of those white edges. try. Okay, let's work on this placement. And then I want to grab a little bit more of this cheesecloth. And I'm going to grab some of this Martha Stewart yarn. Gonna put our label. Let's see, I might move that. Should I move that to the center? I don't want to cover up the fall. Yeah, I guess we're going to go on top of it. Okay. All right, so we like that. Let me grab a little bit more of this cheesecloth. Okay, I'm just going to tack a little bit down there, just a light tacking. And get a bigger piece. I want a little bit more to show on the side of the label. I'll add a little bit more over here. Okay, everything's sticking to my fingers. And I'm going to grab a little bit more of this, just so there's more showing underneath that label. Kind of down here. Where's my label? The label. And that's going to go there. Okay, I like that. And I just kind of roughly laid it down. I didn't really glue the yarn, but by putting the glue on the back of the label, it'll just kind of sandwich everything. I'm going to be very generous with the fabric tack on the label itself. Okay, hopefully. Hopefully that's enough to adhere. I'm going to come back and maybe hit it with the art glitter. It's a lot of yarn. It's very dimensional. Get that a little bit. Give that a little bit more help. Okay, and then here's our mushroom. Oh, everything's stuck to my fingers. Okay. Stuck. Okay. All right. I might come back and put a little bit more glue underneath everything later, but I don't need to keep you guys with that. Okay, and then our butterfly. I'm going to put our little butterfly up here. Oh, yeah, Kathy. Oh, my gosh. Fabri-Tac works really well. I discovered that a long time ago. which you wouldn't think, right? Because it's plastic, but really, whether it's paper or fabric, it works really well. Okay, our little butterfly is on the top of that tree there. Oh, we're looking so good. So there is our finished front, and then I'm going to go through the back super quick. I promise I can do it really quick here. So we're going to rip down the paper. Where is my paper? Here we go. Okay, so let's rip down our piece really fast. Lickety split. This part will be pretty quick. So let's rip down one side, and then we will measure for our other. I'm going to go this way. And we're about there. About there. Okay. Oh, bye, Big Mama. Oh, I'm so glad you were here. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully we'll see you next week. We'll be doing part 2. We'll be decorating. We'll see how I'm going to decorate the inside fully, but we'll see how far we get with each of the individual things. We'll get as far as we can, but I will have a fully decorated one for you guys to see. Okay, let's ink this up. Some weeks our projects are so quick and easy, and then others I feel like I bite off more, but I do like the idea of mixing in these projects that are a little bit longer. So that's why I thought this would be, I mean, I could actually probably have split this into 3 weeks, but we'll see. I think the week after next is Thanksgiving, I think. We'll look at our calendar here in a bit. We usually go away. We go camping for Thanksgiving out to the desert with my parents, but Jim does not have this Thanksgiving off. Like first time, seems, I can't even remember the last time he didn't have Thanksgiving, but he does have Christmas off. He's on call for Thanksgiving, so but wasn't too upset because you know, there's a lot of other people at his work, and I realize we've had it for so many years since the kids were super little, so that's okay. And the traffic is so bad that there's no way we could even just go for the day. We would just be on the road for like 10 hours, even one way. It's so crazy, the traffic. In fact, usually we have to go out there like Tuesday. I think one time we went on a Wednesday. Oh my goodness. Just trying to get out there was crazy. Okay. Yeah, if we can't go for like, it's not as bad coming home, but the going out to Palm Springs area from LA, oh my gosh. That one year, I think we were in the car. Well, there are probably accidents. It seemed like it took us like, I don't know, 5 hours or something crazy. And normally it should be about a 3-hour trip. Okay, so we've glued that down. Where's my eraser? A little bit here. Okay, now let's just do a little quick little collage down here in the corner. So I'm going to grab a piece of that cheesecloth, and I just did a really easy little collage. I like to decorate the back. Especially, I mean, that paper is beautiful, but I think it looks pretty to have something on the back. And let me pull out a couple. I should have pulled some out already. Couple of these. Let's see here. Something that kind of shows up. That one's kind of neat, that handwritten one. And then let's get maybe round. And these are that little tiny, ephemera pack, the little tiny snippets. I had to put them in this other container. They actually spilled all over the place. Okay. Being very indecisive here. Oh, this one's good. Oh, that has that little thing on it. Okay, let's just go with this one. Where are my... Oh, here we go. What I like to do with these labels sometimes is come in and rough up the edges. So I'm just going to take my little cutter bees and do that. I don't have one of those cool kind of Tim Holtz. I know Tim Holtz makes a little tool. Maybe I'll ask for one for my stocking, maybe. Let's see, what do we want to put there? Maybe something square, because we already have, we'll do that one. We already have, there's like a little oval one on top of it already. So, and we'll do that with this one. Kind of just gives it, then it doesn't look so pristine and brand new. We'll hit that with our vintage photo. I'll show you a little close up. Okay. And hopefully you can see it just kind of roughs it up. Let me grab one, right? One that's kind of pristine. Oh, this camera. Oh, wow. Hopefully you can kind of see that. It just gives it a really cool kind of rough look. Okay, so I think I'm going to grab the Fabri-Tac again just because we have that. I need to get a new Fabri-Tac because we have that cheesecloth there. I think we'll be more successful. I need to be much more generous, clearly, with the trying to go so fast. Oh my gosh, we're almost 2 hours. Okay. Yep, this definitely could have been a 3-hour project. Okay, and let's just do this one with this little corner one, and we are done. We're done, we're done. Oh, I know, Big Mama's already gone, but if she's still listening, I hope you make it to next week. Okay, so there's our little corner collage that we did. I think just adding a little something extra there in the corner. Look what I did, guys. Oh my gosh. Look it. Remember, I did that before. I glued it on the wrong side. Oh dear. Okay. Check twice, glue once. Okay. It was Fabri-Tac. I caught it in time. Our flowers are upside down, but that is what it is. This will be the prototype that stays with me. The other one I'll have to be super careful. That'll be the one. I'll probably end up in my Etsy shop if I don't. See, look at our flowers are upside down. But there's our little collage. And we will be decorating the inside next week. That's going the right direction with our little flip out. And our pages here, super cute. And then what I'm going to do with the ends here, I actually did that this morning. I didn't show that in my pictures, but I'm going to give a little snip with the pinking shears to that ribbon, just so it doesn't fray as much. And we will tie that up. And it's so cute. How cute is that? I think it turned out really adorable. I hope you guys are inspired to try making one of these. The base is so super simple and easy. No sew. You don't have to sew in the signatures. And you could also, I probably will do that at some point, you could also build upon this and actually put signatures on the inside, right? You could staple them, you could sew them in, because this spine could just get as thick as you want it to be. So that'll be fun to kind of play with that a little bit and see how thick we can get these envelope journals. But that's it. That is it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you feel inspired. Oh, the thing that I wanted to do, let me pull the calendar over really quick, because I know you guys all have places to go and things to do today. Yeah, so next week we will be back. We will be doing part 2 next week on the 21st. And the 20 is Thanksgiving. Oh, it's always Thursday, right? The 20, yeah, Thanksgiving. So we will not be together that following Thursday. So we have part 2 next week. We have a break. We'll all be eating and enjoying our US friends, I should say. I know our Canadian friends already had their Thanksgiving several weeks ago. And then we will be back together on December 5th, and I'll be moving on to Christmas. And I think I'm going to do the same thing where we maybe do a multi-part Christmas journal. I haven't yet started. I'm excited to. I kind of have this thought in mind with some supplies I recently picked up. So we'll probably do, might even be a 3-week one. We'll see. I might insert maybe like maybe an assemblage type thing. We'll see how well we do, but we'll be together. Yeah, those 3 weeks, and then off the 26th, because I know we'll be enjoying time with our family. Oh, that's a good idea, Kathy. I'll add, yeah, maybe I can just add, like another one of these on the back, and then you won't, or lace. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll put like a big piece of lace or something. So it's not, but this one is staying with me, so it doesn't really matter. This will stay in like my stack of completed stuff. So it's all good. And okay, so this is one of the things that I want to start doing every week with us. So I wasn't crafting, right? I had those couple weeks off, but I wanted to share this with everybody. And I may do a video. It was so fun to make. But we had talked in our Instagram group about having a prompt jar where we have prompts, and then we can pull one out each week to have like our little challenge that we've been doing in our Instagram group. So, because I always I always have to be extra, and I always have to kind of go the extra mile. But I grabbed this jar out and I'm like, oh, I want to decorate it, so it looks cute for us. So I made a couple little labels here, and I took like a vintage hanky that had a hole, and I did a little tie, and I had this one-off, like one vintage clip-on earring here. So I added that to the top, and a little piece of, I I don't know what this is. I think this is a little snippet from like an antique quilt or something, and made a little bow. Anyway, I think I might do a video this week. We'll kind of see how the week goes. And this is just like a little Dollar Tree label, one of those white labels. So, and then, you know, made a little label like we did today. So I may do a video, but here's our jar and it's full of our prompts. So I am going to pull one out, and then I was thinking then we can pull the prompts together, and then I'll also take a picture and post it in our Instagram group. So that was kind of my thought. I think it'll be fun. We can do it together. So I'm going to reach in. Let's see, what did Kathy say? Start sharing the jar prompts on the 1st of the year. Yeah, so like, do you mean like the whole list typed out? That's definitely something. I had some repeats. I did it in Excel and then I just cut them out, and I found some repeats, and then I actually hand wrote, not that we needed more. But yeah, I could definitely figure out a way to how would I do that? I could do like start like a Ko-fi thing. I'll figure out a way to share it. Because I just posted a picture, right, to our group of what the prompts were. Okay, I'm going to dig in here and let's see what our very first one is. I hope it's something good. Stickers. Okay, so our very first one is stickers. So that's our single prompt, is to create something so it's very open, right? We're like an easy peasy group. It's very open-ended, but just create something and include stickers in it. So very open-ended. And then we've been posting pictures of our completed items in our Instagram group. So if you're watching this and you're not in the Instagram group and you would like to be, contact me. You can leave a message in the, leave a message below in the comment section, and come find me on Instagram. So I'm on Instagram, same name, Day Trip Vintage Company. In fact, it's in my link tree in the bio, like at the top of my YouTube channel here. So you can find my Instagram page, and then just contact me and we can add you in. But again, it's, you can play along. If you post a picture to Instagram, you could also tag me, and yeah, we'll probably find a more efficient way that this works as we go forward. But again, stickers. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, 52 prompts for the year. And there's more than 52 in here. I got a little overzealous, so there's definitely. So what we could do is we can work off of this for the year, and I won't put this back in the jar. This is going to go out, and then we can I can do it in a more uniform way. Let's see. You did, Kathy? Okay, good. Kathy makes the most wonderful headbands. Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna go look later when we're off. Okay, so stickers. So that's it, everybody. Have an amazing week, and I hope to see you all next week for part 2, and we'll just see what we can get through, because obviously we can't decorate every single page. And I love you all. I appreciate you all for being here live, and everybody that will be watching the replay. Let me turn around, show my face. All right, everybody, have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week. Bye.